Hello, welcome back. My name is Jennifer with My Scrap Room, and today we're going to be working on the cards that come with the Falling For You workshop kit. So it's these cards right here. If you're following along and you want to make the cards with us, you're going to order the Falling For You scrapbooking workshop kit, and it is G1135. And you're going to want to print off, and I'll put a link down below in the description, you're going to want to print off the cutting instructions. But we're going to be making these cards right here. I say let's get started. Now I have already pre-cut all of the cuts. I've already done the stamping and the Cuttlebug. I'm going to insert those here. Okay, tip time. When you're working with the thin cuts, I was watching Jennifer McGuire a couple of weeks ago, and she said something that blew my brain. This is medical tape. You know, the stuff that they wrap your bandages with or hold your bandages down with. You can get it at the drugstore for next to nothing. But what she did is she just very gently took a piece of medical tape to hold down the thin cut. And then you can run it through your Cuttlebug. Sorry for the shaking. Cuttlebug's a little heavy. And then what it does is you cut the tape that time. But you know what? It's medical tape. It's not going to hurt the paper. But it does not hurt the paper. It's kind of like it's a cheaper version of washi tape. Washi tape would work if you have a roll of washi tape that kind of sucks and you don't want to use it on your scrapbooks or in your planners. But this is definitely cheaper. I can typically get 2 or 3 cuts out of one piece of tape. And then you get a perfect cut. Okay, pardon the glare right here. I have an extra light because it's a little bit cloudy outside, so it's going to be a glare right there. But I wanted to show you a super simple way to stamp the thin cuts that we just cut out. If you're not familiar, this is a MISTI stamping tool. Before I found this tool, this is just a scrap piece. Before I found this tool, I had a horrible time stamping on, personally I had a horrible time stamping on the thin cuts. Then I went to convention and a couple of people were talking about this tool at lunch. We thought Close to My Heart was going to come out with one. They actually had a contract, everything to contract with MISTI to make a Close to My Heart licensed MISTI. Something happened with another company, MISTI suing somebody, I don't know the logistics, but Close to My Heart had to, MISTI had to let Close to My Heart out of the contract. So at this moment, Close to My Heart does not have a MISTI stamping tool. I'm hoping in the future they get one. If they do, I will definitely buy one because they're worth it to me. This is the small one. But until then, I'm using the actual name brand MISTI tool. So what I'm doing is I have just a piece of scrap cardstock that I'm going to pop in there to catch some extra ink. This is the negative space that we just cut out on the Cuttlebug. I'm going to line it up corner to corner, put my magnet down, and because I'm going to be stamping a little bit more in this particular corner I know likes to pop up, I'm going to just tape that corner down. That's not something you normally have to do, but for some reason this stamp is extra sticky and it was causing this corner to come up. So you're going to take your stamp that you want to stamp, haha, and you're going to put it in the negative space. Then you're going to close the lid and pick up that stamp. I'm still going to fix that just to make sure everything's where it goes. Make sure you're good and down. And then you're going to take the image that you just cut and you're going to pop it in the negative space. Double check yourself. And it moved. Holy baloney. It doesn't normally move. Why did it move while I'm on camera? Now it's just making me look bad. Now it just doesn't want to. Okay, there we go. Okay, ordinarily it doesn't do that. If it did, it would drive me crazy. So what you're going to do is you're going to ink up your stamp on this side. Ink it really well. It doesn't matter if ink goes over the edges because you're working off of scrap paper. Okay. Make sure everything's in your corners. And there you go. A perfectly stamped thin cut. How cool is that? Okay, I'm going to try it again. Wipe off my edges so I don't get ink on my fingers. And this time we're just going to cut to the chase. Pop that in. Oh, that's what moved. Okay, cool. Put you down. Sorry about the moving, guys. That's not... There we go. Oh, come on. There's another perfect one. And I just stuck my finger in the ink. Last one with this color. And see, that's the other good thing is you can tell when you're just slightly off. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep stamping and get all of my thin cuts stamped out. You're going to notice an error if you're working off the cutting guide. I accidentally cut 6 of this leaf. There's another leaf in the thin cuts that you're supposed to be cutting. So you're supposed to have 3 of this one and 3 of this one. I had a brain fart and just cut 6 of this one. So my personal cards are going to have this particular image. So if you're doing your cuts and you're inking ahead of time, this is how I do it. It's the easiest way for me. Do it the way you do it. That's the easier way for you. And I will be right back and we'll put the cards together. And now that we have all that done, we can start the assembly. So this is what the assembly instructions look like whenever you print them off. So for this we have, oh, and I need to let you know, whenever I was filming the Misty stamping tool, my Misty had camera issues. She was a bit camera shy. When I sat back down on the other side of the room at my desk, I was getting completely perfect images with the stamping. So she had to have been camera shy, and I apologize. But like I said, I've got all these already cut, they're already stamped, and all of our card pieces are already cut. So we're going to start with card 4. And we're going to make, I'm sorry, card 6. We're going to start with card 6. I'm starting backwards evidently. And there are 3 cards per design. So much for being prepared. I left my glasses on the other side of the room. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to stamp our sentiment I believe I have it right here. There it is. Sorry for the noise. So I'm just going to put my sentiment on the block. And they would like the sentiment to be in the archival black. Oh, that's nice. That is a nice image. And just to save some room on my desk, I'm using a towel today instead of my jeans. I have a habit of using my jeans to clean the stamps with. Now this ink was the archival ink, so it's going to stain my stamp. But that's okay. It just means that when it falls down on my white carpet, I'll be able to find it. Dry my block off. Now the next step is we need to dovetail these. So I'm going to go up the center and then over the side. Believe it or not, I have been a consultant for 13 years. This cut has kicked my behind for 13 years. And whenever I went to convention this last summer, I was sitting next to my upline, and she literally was like, okay, enough is enough. You need to learn how to do this. And she sat there with me and worked with me and worked with me until I finally got this cut. But you would have thought I was a toddler trying to learn my shoes with this cut. It just, seriously, I couldn't do it. And I still get it a little bit crooked, but it's much, much better than what I used to do. So it's definite progress. And I have to be happy with that. So that's much better than what I used to do. And then we're going to grab the twine real fast because I see that it uses it and I do not want to forget. Alright, well, we'll do it that way. Let's try it and see. It says to wrap twine around this piece. You know what, I'm going to... Don't try this at home, kids. There we go. I needed a third hand for a minute. I'm using way too much thread. Okay. I need another finger. Anybody got a finger they can put down? Okay, well, you're supposed to wrap it twice. I'm not going to wrap it twice. I'm going to consider this good. What I'm going to do to secure it is take a little bit of my score tape and put on the back. So that my thread doesn't wobble. Like that. Okay. Okay, that works for me. Let's do the other two. And my friends, I think that's the hardest part of the whole card. So hopefully that's the longest part of this entire card. So first thing I'm going to do is make sure I'm opening my card up correctly. I am. I'm going to put down some more score tape. Now if this goes down crooked, I'm just going to cry. And you guys will see me cry big old fat tears. Because when you're using score tape, once it's on, it's on. There's no fixing it. You are trying to fall down, so we'll just put you over there. This is just skinnier score tape for the tinier pieces. And then we're going to take this piece, set it up there. Oh, that looks so good. Kind of centered a little bit. Okay, and then this here. Okay, so I need this one, and then I need a little bit of foam tape on that one. Because this is a layered piece, I'm going to put some score tape under there. Oh, I already took it off. The heavy wire, it's sticking to my finger. Okay, so now we're going to take the lighter sequences, and I use a craft knife to put my sequence on. Please, please, please be careful if you're going to do it this way, because this craft knife will cut you, and I do not want anybody to get hurt. So there's card one. I'm going to do the other two really quickly so that you see it a couple more times. Like I said, the hardest part of this one was putting the twine on. Okay. Put this up. Center this one up. Well, this would be a very, very easy one to make multiples. A lot of times when I'm making cards, if I'm going to make the cuts, I go ahead and make 12 cuts and make cards for my friends and family. Because I figure if I'm going to do it, I might as well make all the cuts, do it assembly style. I put 4 in my card racks to sell. You can tell I and from the south there for a second. I put some in my card racks to sell, and then I put 4 in my personal stash, and then I divide the rest of them up among friends and family. Some of my family enjoys getting cards just sent to them randomly that they can use, you know, I'm their personal Hallmark, let's just put it that way. And then I have family that I'll just randomly send them cards, and then they will count up the cards that I sent them and send me a check back. I have an aunt that just says, I don't care what you send me, just send me, and then she counts it all up and sends me money. It's kind of cool that way. And then we're going to put the sequins on. These are so cute. So, so cute. Okay, one thing that I really, really like about this card is there is not a lot of, lack of a better word, not a lot of bumpy. So if you're sending it through the mail, it should not be very much, or it should not be any extra postage. Or if it is, very little. I would probably, if you're putting it in the envelope, I'd probably put a piece of tape on the envelope, like right here, to help protect the sequence. But this would be a very, very easy card to mail. Sometimes when you're making cards and they get a little bumpy-fied, you have to get a bigger envelope to put them in. And then, of course, the bigger envelope, the more weight, the bumpiness, they have to hand meter it. That's where they want to charge you all the money. So I think I would like the fact that this one is mailable, or more mailable than normal. This is the last card for card 6. Need a little bit more tape. Not that much. Goodness, my tape measuring skills are lacking. Oh no! Oh, good. Okay. I thought it was going to fall sticky side down, but it did not. Cutting this particular workshop did not take very long at all. So if you were not trying to, say you just kind of put a movie in and was just knocking out some cards, you could probably get this entire card kit done, start to finish, with the stamping and the Cuttlebug. 40 minutes maybe. I took a little bit longer because I was making notes on my Cuttlebug. I have a brand new Cuttlebug. I typically, in the past, I've only had a Big Shot. But I found that I couldn't use my Big Shot. I have an electric Big Shot because, again, if I'm going to make cards, I'm going to make 12 cards. And if I'm going to make the cuts, I'm going to make 12 cuts. And, you know, yeah, if you give a mouse a cookie. But I found I couldn't use my Big Shot if the family was sleeping because it would wake them up. So a friend of mine, I went to her house to scrapbook several weeks ago, and I had some things that I needed to do with thin cuts, and I asked her, I said, do you mind if I borrow your cuddle bug? And she said, no, not a problem at all. So I borrowed her cuddle bug. There's the completed card. Right there, that's card number 6. Let me clear the decks and we will get started on card number 5. So I borrowed her cuddle bug for the day. I enjoyed it so much that after our play date was over, I asked her, I said, do you want to go to the hobby store and see if I can find a cuddle bug? I said, this is going to be a game changer because A, I could use it to show you guys like I did earlier. I'm just setting out all the components for card number 5. One, this way. So I did. I went to the store and I bought the cuddle bug, and I've been enjoying the baloney out of it ever since. Okay, so this card is going to be another one that we dovetail, so let's do that first. There is a sentiment, but I'm going to wait till I have the dovetail part of it on so I know where to put the sentiment. Oh, what got me started on the cuddle bug. If you're using the Big Shot with the thin cuts, that's what got me started. Sorry, I went off on a tangent. If you're using the Big Shot to cut the thin cuts, Big Shot comes with a magnetic plate that makes that job a lot easier, but it does not come on the cuddle bug. And that's where I was watching Jennifer McGuire of Jennifer McGuire Inc. And she used the medical tape. And I went, that works. That will make it much, much easier. So that's where I started using the medical tape for the cuddle bug. And it really does make a difference. Because I have a ceiling fan in my room, and it tends to blow the paper everywhere. And when you're trying to cut thin cuts and cut cuddle bugs, the little pieces and whatnots, they fly everywhere. So for me, the tape helps hold everything down. Okay, so the orientation of the card is going to be this direction. And we're going to use this one first. And I think what I'm going to do, I just had an idea. They want twine to go this way. No, I don't want twine. So if you're going to be doing the next part, they want the twine to go this way and tie it off exactly like we did with the last card. I don't think I want to use twine on this one. I was thinking about tying it that way, but I don't think I want twine on this one at all. So if you would like to use twine, this is where you use the twine at. Make your little bows, but I don't think I want the twine. Okay, so these things are like that. Then we're going to take the dovetail and put it down. And I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to assemble all 3 to this point, and then we'll do the stamping and finish it up. If you hear anything, I think my husband is breaking down boxes for recycling. So if you hear that, I apologize. Oops, not that. Oh, landed in my lap. My refrigerator's making noises today. I am sitting next to a dorm fridge, and it decided to be very noisy. It's not normally that noisy, so I'm not sure what's going on. I was just double checking which direction. I have a habit of gluing everything down and then realizing my card is the wrong orientation. So, for me, double checking before gluing always helps. Okay, so we're gonna put these here, and we need archival black, and we need the So Thankful For. It's stuck to my finger now. I am using a 1x, I think it's a 1x4 block. Some of the blocks have measurements on the ends. That's what I was looking for. This one must be an older one. So I'm going to use my archival black. Move that out of the way. Make sure my card is straight. Okay, close up my ink before I can put my hand in it. The next color I'm going to need is the Gold Rush, but before I do that I'm going to clean my stamp. Again, I'm trying to teach myself not to use my jeans as the stamp cleaner. Do I want to use... You've got a couple of sentiments you can choose from. It says, so thankful for you, your friendship, your help, your support, your guidance. I think I'm going to use your support, because there's nothing that says this has to be a Thanksgiving card. And you know, sometimes people in your life need a little thank you. So I think I'm going to go that direction. So I'm going to make sure my card is straight. I'm really hoping my head's not in the camera today, because while I showered and brushed my teeth and did all that jazz, I did not do my hair. So it's being held back with a headband. And that wouldn't be very good for you guys to see. You wouldn't like it. There. Okay, so I'm going to close the Gold Rush because I don't want to put my hand in it. So the spray that you see me spraying is the Close to My Heart stamp cleaner. I decanted it into a pink bottle. so that when I go to crops or teaching events or something of that nature, I know that's my bottle. Because we all have the, you know, especially with a Close to My Heart event, we all have the same equipment. So I will typically take a different pair of scissors or decant a bottle or do something different to set my supplies apart. Wrap a piece of washi tape around my scissors or something. But I found that the pink bottles work very, very well for marking my equipment. And I also buy the refill bottle of stamp cleaner, and I just put it in these bottles. So now for your card, if you're following along, you're going to have the image that you're putting down is going to be this image. But like I said, when I was working on showing you the Misty and the Cuddlebug, I had a brain fart and I cut out too many of this shape, so I'm going to use it. But yours will have the other leaf if you are following along. I had a customer text me last week and want to know how to place an order if they're watching the videos. If you go to, there should be a button on YouTube that says My Scrap Room. You can hit that button. Or you can follow the link that says Shopping in the descriptions. Follow the Shopping tab or hit the button and go to My Scrap Room. When you get to My Scrap Room, you're going to hit the Online Shopping button. And that will take you directly to my online Close to My Heart store. We're going to be using the dark sequence. So again, if you're wanting to go shopping and you see something you like that I'm teaching, you can either hit the button that's on YouTube that says Online Shopping, or you can hit the link that says Online Shopping. Once you hit the link, it takes you to my blog. And then there on my blog, you can go to the Online Shopping tab, and that will take you to my Close to My Heart shopping page. I've tried to keep it fairly easy to find what you want to find within my site. I run everything through my blog. I've got the crop dates on there if you're local, or I will have the crop dates by this afternoon. If you're local and want to come to free crops, I have all the videos run through the blog, and I have my shopping through the blog. So this is this card that we just finished. And let's put together card 4. I'm doing these completely backwards. I started with card 6. I'm just putting the instructions inside so I don't lose them. So this is card 4. Pulling out my card bases. Pulling out all of the pieces and parts that I've already cut with the thin cuts and stamped with the Misty. Again, if you missed that part, the Misty tool is a new stamping tool that I've recently found. Close to My Heart does not have it yet. But I'm hoping they get it soon. Oh, I get it. Okay. Sorry, I got lost there for a second. I was like, why are we doing that? Okay. So, first things first, we're going to put these on the card bases. Hot diggity dog, I did it right the first time. So it's actually going to cover your card. What you could do also, this is just the almond cardstock. You could also just cut the card base out of almond if you don't want to attach it. But if you have card bases and you don't want to do that, you just lay it on top. So we're going to do that. And with the new cardstock, we're going to be using the darker. Let me show you. This is the light side, that's the dark side. We're going to be using the darker side for the card base. 1, two. Okay, I did it perfect. Yay! And 3. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to set the card bases aside, and we're going to be working off of these. And since we have this like this, I am going to use the twine because I can actually work backwards. And I will show you what I am talking about. So I'm going to take my twine. That's going to be too small. So first thing I'm going to do is attach this piece. All the measurements are in your cutting guides. So if you're wanting to follow along, you download the cutting guide, and all your cuts are right there. When I started the channel in January, I was doing the cuts along with you, and then was it last month that I decided to go ahead and stop doing the cutting? I think it was. Last month or the month before, I can't remember exactly. But I figured after this long you may know the cutting, and then I was actually starting to bore you with the cutting. And I do not want to do that. So what we're going to do is we are going to wrap it this way. Again, I'm using too much twine, and I understand that. And then we're going to tie a knot. And then we're going to cut it. And then what I'm going to do, I've got all this. I can use, those are actually good scraps for me, so I'm not worried about that. And then I'm going to do it again. I'm going to put score tape on the back to hold the twine. So we're going to do that on all 3 of these pieces real fast. There it is. Like, where'd my twine go? So we're going to start with the front. Flip it over. Flip it over again and bring it back to the front. And this is where I always need a 3rd pair of hands. And score tape. And once again, the twine is what's taking the most time on this particular card. Once we get that done, it's going to be assembly as usual. I also had a customer call me yesterday. Well, not a customer. Another consultant called me yesterday. She was watching my videos and she saw where I packed for convention. You saw my convention packing video. But she said, okay, you drove last year. What do you do if you're flying? What do you do with all your supplies if you're flying? So I think what I'm going to do is, I don't think that I want to wait until convention next year, and because I am flying to convention next year. I don't think I want to wait that long to do that video, so I may do a little mock video, like I'm going somewhere, to show you how to travel with your scrapbooking supplies. I don't know if I'm going to do it with clothes in the luggage or not, or if it's just going to be the scrapbooking supplies. But let me know in the comments if you're interested in that, if you've traveled by air with your supplies, and if you're interested in finding ways of doing that. I was going to a Close to My Heart event several years ago with I've got two friends of mine, Dorothy and Sylvia, and we travel quite a bit together with Close to My Heart. And I was traveling, Sylvia and I were traveling on the same plane, and it's the little bitty stamp scrubber that we have that's black. I took that one with me because it's a smaller stamp scrubber. And this is the first time I have ever been stopped for scrapbooking supplies. And it was because the orientation that I had that in my bag, I had it sideways because it was small, so I could stand it up, long ways. I had it sideways in my bag. Going through the x-ray machine, it looked like bullets. It really did, because she showed me, she's like, I need to know where this is. Oh, I know exactly where that is. And I couldn't touch my luggage, but I could point in my luggage. And I said, okay, pull that bag out, pull this bag out. And the minute she opened, because I was using a toiletry bag to store everything in, the minute she opened the toiletry bag and saw the stamp pads, she goes, oh, you're one of those people. It was the funniest thing in the world. So then I showed her, I said, okay, I think what we're looking at is going to be the stamp cleaner or the stamp scrubber pad. And she pulled it out, she opened it up, she goes, yes, that's it right there. But again, and she showed me the x-ray, and it really did look like bullets. So on that one, they had every reason to search my bags, they had every reason to pull me out. But it wasn't anything sharp, it wasn't anything, there was no blade involved. The orientation that I had that particular stamp scrubber, it looked a little weird. So I do not blame them for stopping me on that one. But ordinarily, I do not get stopped with my scrapbooking supplies. I pack them in such a fashion that ordinarily it doesn't make a difference and I don't get stopped. Come on. But I'm going to show you how to pack them for checking your bag. That particular trip, I did everything carry-on, and I shouldn't have, because coming home was difficult. So for that particular trip, I made a mistake in my packing strategy. But I was concerned because I was traveling alone. I wasn't going to have anybody, Michael, to help me with luggage. And I did not want to depend on Sylvia to help me. I wanted to do it on my own. So I was trying to pack differently. So, Sylvia wants me to do a packing video on how to travel with scrapbooking supplies. Long story short. There's going to be quite a bit of weight hanging off this little card, so I'm using score tape to help put it down. Okay, so before we put the leaves on, because we have leaves to attach, we're going to do our sentiment. And again, it's so thankful. It's a so thankful one. I'm trying to figure out why they're telling me to use archival ink, unless they're afraid that the card's going to get wet. But I could have used just regular ink on this one. But it says archival black, so I said, okay, I will use archival black. And I think for this one, I am going to do the word they're using, because it strikes me. But I've also decided to go back to the travel. I think I'm going to just start using these little rags when I travel, because that way I don't have to worry about my double scrubbers looking like bullets in security. So the word they want to use that's stuck on my finger is you. I don't think I've got a smaller block. Oh, I do. Yay. There we go. I'm going to use my 1x1 block. And they want you to use the Gold Rush. Tiny little stamp. Tiny, tiny little stamp. Oh, I squished that one a little bit. Oh well. Ooh. I almost wore it. What you're hearing when you hear me clunking around, I have a little tray that I keep all my toys in when I'm working. And that's what you hear clunking around. And we're going to be using the bronze. I want one of these, and I want one of these, and I want one of these. We are almost done with this entire card kit. And like I said, the longest part for me was the twine. There we go. There's one card. So I'm going to keep going real fast. If you're an expert twine tire, this will not take very long for you. I'm not, so it took a little bit more time for me. But like I said, from the cutting part, for cutting, and Cuttlebug and the Misty for the stamping, took maybe 40 minutes. And this part, once we were able to do the twine, this part's coming together really, really quickly, provided I can get everything off my fingers. Because everything's sticking to me. I don't like that. There we go. I still have to go through and put the sequins on. Don't let me forget about that. We're going to put this one down first. I've been doing it backwards. Let's do it this way. Don't know why I've been doing it backwards. Logic would tell you to do it the other way. Okay, so let's try this. There we go, I like that better. Okay, so let's put the sequins on real fast. And here is that card. So let me line them up for you real fast. So in about an hour we have 9 cards, 3 of each design, that can be thankful for being my friend, thank you for support, thank you for being you, truly grateful that you're the person you are, any type of give thanks, give gratitude type cards that are in some beautiful fall colors. If you like what you saw today and you would like to get the kit for yourself, again, hit the My Scrap Room link or the My Scrap Room button that's in the YouTube channel. That takes you directly to my blog, and then from my blog, do the online shopping button. I really enjoyed this kit. Until next time, thank you. Bye-bye.